and or bond anticipation notes. Oh,
No idea what I have.
let's move that real quick. Are you muted? No.
Just pushed it out is.
Okay, there we go. All right. Start again. Article 4. Shall the town vote to authorize the issuance of general obligation bonds and or bond anticipation notes in the aggregate principal sum of up to $400,000 for the purpose of financing the purchase of a KME pumper fire truck with the dates, maturities, denominations, interest rates, and other details of such borrowing to be determined by the municipal officers, and to see if the town will vote to appropriate the proceeds of said bonds or bond anticipation notes for the foregoing projects, plus an amount necessary to refund the interest payments on any bond anticipation notes issued for said purpose, and any cost of issuance of the bonds and or bond anticipation notes. No, this expenditure was approved at a town meeting held on March 25th, 2024. This vote ratifies that approval with the required financial statements set forth below and includes an updated estimate of the total expected borrowing, which has been reduced. The total estimated debt service is $475,313.93, of which principal is $400,000 and estimated interest at variable rates between 2.921% and 3.5% over 10 years is approximately $75,313.93. The municipal officers recommend a yes vote. Move it. Do we have a move? Ben moves.
Second.
Karen seconds. Okay. Discussion.
I'll just explain it a little further.
Okay.
So March 2024, we came to a special town meeting to ask for essentially allow us to buy the pumper truck that we now have ordered. The price for that is $656,000. We're asking for 400 of it to be bonded. The other 256, assuming the 56,000 gets allocated as part of the budget process this year. We have $200,000 in the reserve account. We get the additional 56,000. We have the full 656 to be able to pay for this truck, which is estimated to arrive sometime late fall, mid to late fall. So this is imperative to pass again, just so that we can or are able to bond instead of having to either ask for more cash, use our reserves, or borrow at a higher rate from a bank.
I'm going to take out my moderator hat for a minute and also just mention that these rates are just about inflation, which is like free money, which is pretty amazing.
These are rates through the municipal bond bank.
Right. Okay, so I'll put my moderator hat back on. Any other comments, questions, discussion? None? Okay, seeing none. All those in favor, there's their cards. Okay, all those opposed? Unanimous again. Okay. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn the special town meeting? Moved by Ben,
Second.
seconded by Rufus. Okay. All those in favor? Good, we're adjourned.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank
You're welcome. You want me to stay
around?
around?
There's 2 more meetings.
you.
Yeah.
Eileen.
Yes, that would be awesome.
We'll go.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Oh, hey,
Thank you,
my
ma'am.
kids love those evenings.
You haven't been for a few weeks.
Yeah, but they always talk about how much fun they have. Yeah, they're great kids.
We can get them from everybody.
Oh, almost dodged it.
I thought Dodge too.
Are we asking for all of the
Back.
I'm sorry?
Forget your salad. Oh, it doesn't get cold.
I don't mind it, but it's. Suspicious.
Are you sure you have free?
Didn't think I was sharing my screen. Their screen.
Oh.
Just like.
But I share.
So that's the staff camera, this is you.
Oh,
So that's, that's
what
you.
if we get their jacket?
That's them and that's.
But I should have this.
Right now, that's being checked.
Is that your jacket?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Something like that. That's no difference.
Oh. Oh, all right. So.
On the fly.
Well, print the screen.
Well, that's the only way to learn, well.
Right.
Who's opening your hearing?
Hmm?
Are you opening the hearing?
I'll
I'm not
open it. Sorry. All right, so this will be meeting number 2. This is a public hearing for the discontinuance of Robinson Road. And we'll start this hearing at 7:20 p.m. And with that, we'll have a brief summary of what this order is. Kevin, can I ask you to
Sure,
this?
everybody know where Robinson Road is? It's just off of River Road. It used to be River Road and then the state straightened that portion out, turned it into Robinson Road and gave it to the town. A good half of it was more or less discontinued, but we can't find any paperwork specifically on it. So part of this is an effort to formally discontinue that and also drop the public easement for that section of it. And there's another section of it that runs right off River Road to just past 19 Robinson Road, which is Rufus Percy and his wife Molly. They're comfortable with discontinuing this road because basically it isn't being well maintained or taken care of. And he's more than willing to take care of it for essentially as an extension of his driveway. So the first half of this would continue to have a public easement. My attorney has advised we could even just have it go through the other property, but I think what we've presented works fine for now. The abutters have all been notified. The abutters were at our last select board meeting to talk about it, and everybody seemed comfortable with it. There's no cost to the town for this. In fact, long term, it's a savings for the town because the town wouldn't be responsible for maintaining this public road. So that's essentially what this is. This is just the process we have to follow in order to take it to our annual town meeting for a vote.
Okay, open it up to the floor here. Anybody have questions, comments? Well, hearing no comments. We will close the public hearing at 7:22 p.m. 2 minutes. And move on to our regular agenda. So, with that, public hearing is closed. And we will start the select board meeting for tonight. So 7:23 p.m. This is the select board.
No chances.
Hello? Oh. Starting the select board meeting for March 23rd, 2026, calling to order. Any amendments to the agenda? I've got one. Yep, so I'm gonna move that we add, see you, Peter. Presentations and special guests, item 5B, which is Dave Levesque as the county commissioner, gonna present the check.
Oh. What is everything?
So that will be 5B. And anything else? So with that objection, we'll add that. Okay, hearing none. Item 3A, meeting minutes from March 9th.
I'll move to approve the minutes to the meeting as written.
Second. You got it.
So Karen moved,
Yep.
and it was Thomas?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, any other discussion?
Good.
Great. Okay, all those in favor? Okay, motion passes. Any item 4, item with comments not on the agenda, anybody's here to make comment?
Just quickly, on the minutes from the previous meeting,
Yeah.
they introduced me, Katie Huntington, as being a member of a group I didn't recognize. It's PSAC, Pedestrian Safety and Accessibility Collaborative, was the auspices under which I presented you folks with the biking map. Okay, I just wanted to get correct, get it right, thanks. PSAC. Okay.
Make sure it's fixed.
Got that?
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, no, fix it, get it fixed.
Great.
I-
Okay,
Did receive a call from Silas Hatch, who owns property off of Joneswood Road. He was hoping to come here and speak during public comment, but I advised him it'd probably be about a half an hour, so he might pop in. He does. I would ask maybe the board allows him to speak about what he's.
sure. So a half hour from now, or you think?
No, I think he'd probably be here in 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh,
I
okay.
told him,
I'm here, by the way.
oh, he is here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
I'm gonna rush so.
Well, this is your
the time.
point. You have,
Oh,
this
you
is
want
your
me-
opportunity. If you don't mind coming up and just tell us who you are, Alice.
Dallas Hatch. I grew up in the area, live down in Scarborough now. Wife and I just bought 31 Bunker Hill Road. Over on the lake. So kind of back in the area a little bit. Was doing some zoning review after we purchased that property. Was kind of looking around and I noticed that, so it's in the D1 rural zone. Which is the majority of the town. That seems to be in pretty much all the lake frontage in that north section is. In doing some review, it looks like, there's a couple instances where you could pack quite a bit of density in some of those bigger lots, and there are a handful of larger lots that have lake frontage still. And one site in particular, it's kind of adjacent to mine, that I think the owner's probably got plans to do a larger redevelopment on, under current zoning. So I'm kind of here to urge the town and planning board to kind of review that zoning and see if we really think that's appropriate for the town. The long range plan, to have kind of some higher density developments, along Damascus Lake. So one kind of instance is the Common Court development standard, which is kind of like a PUD design, which I think is appropriate in certain instances, but like in an area where we've got, water frontage and, the lake's already got water quality issues, right? I don't think it's probably appropriate that we be slamming in some high density developments kind of in this area. So I don't know what the appropriate kind of avenue would be to restrict high density development in these, sensitive areas along the lake, whether that's create a new zone, put an overlay zone on there, or whatnot. I'm not here to, I don't think taking out the Common Court from rural development district D1 is the right thing to do, because there's plenty of other areas that I think it would be appropriate. I just think kind of in this waterfront corridor would probably be a good place to check it out. So
So your property it's on the west side of the.
31 Bunker Hill Road. Yeah, it's right when you turn on, it's the first fire lane when you turn on to Bunker Hill Road.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Huh,
Yeah.
got it.
And specific, what brought this up specifically is there's 40 acres to the south of me that's never been developed.
Mhm.
Been kind of talking to that owner. He's an out of state guy, and I think his plan is to kind of sell to the highest bidder and at some point in the near future. And kind of reference this common court, so it could be like a 40-50 unit little condo subdivision, which. On septic with water frontage, you know, I don't think would be in line with most people's vision of the lake in that area, but that's my thoughts, so. And I think looking at the tax maps, there are other large parcels that I think that could be done under current zoning as well, so.
What's the best course of action for him to bring?
Come to a planning board meeting.
Come to a planning board.
Well,
Okay.
I advised, both Michael and I advised him to come ask you guys if this is a priority. You know, our staff is small, so shifting priorities, the workload we have on a part-time planner. I asked Silas to come ask you guys if it's appropriate to sort of shift our priorities. Is this something we should be focused in on? Or should we be waiting until June, July, when we reset our priority list? So that's why I asked him to come and at least share his thoughts and concerns about that.
Yeah, I appreciate that and thanks for
Yeah.
your thoughts on it. I think the course would be to go to planning board. Let them hear the thoughts and then take it to the next level.
What's the next level?
Well, a recommendation from planning board and the planner to the select board, you know, to add some kind of zoning amendment to the warrant. I mean.
To talk about how it would go fit in with our priorities.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I mean, there's also the outreach. That's, I think we still have
One
another
more.
meeting.
This week, we have one on growth.
Yeah.
We intend to address some of these concerns.
Yeah, so Silas, I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I know the long range planning, Newcastle is the drive growth in the downtown section, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we've been going through some outreach over the last month and we have
Okay.
one more meeting, I
Okay.
think, with a hired consultant that's kind
Okay,
of organizing this.
sure,
And those meetings are recorded, so you can kind of get your ideas out there and
Okay.
and there'll be data that's kind of
There's
documented.
there's a virtual one on
Yeah.
Friday if you wanted to attend it
okay,
at noon.
it's like a Zoom meeting,
It's a
everybody
Zoom
comes in,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
About an hour and a half long.
okay, good,
It'd be good for you to provide that context there too.
okay,
Cause it will shape what we ask the planning board to look at and advise on revisions to, so.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know. We don't know what's possible or what we may have overlooked, and so it's always good to
Does
assess.
anyone have any idea what the other towns around the lake have in terms of that sort of zoning stipulations? I'm just curious, you know,
It's
what's
just Millborough,
Millborough and
Jefferson.
Jefferson, what their thoughts on that kind of development are. I have no idea.
Without getting into it, I can tell you they all have to comply with LD 2003 at a bare minimum. So if they don't regulate density like we don't in our code,
The state does.
the state does for them.
Yeah.
Or forces them to modify their zoning code, so. Every lot along the lake by state mandate would be allowed to have 4 to 6 units on it.
yeah, and this, you know, that's a separate issue, but yeah, like this, like on a 40-acre parcel. Where you don't have a minimum lot size, you know, like something throwing 40-50, and especially in a common court style setup, I mean, I could definitely see a 55+ community. And then you're talking about a septic system there, and I mean, that would be, and then you're talking about a common dock with 50 boat slips on it, it could turn into a shit show pretty quick, I think,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Literal.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nothing like a big failed septic.
Yeah.
Hell of the lake.
yeah. So yeah, I'm happy to run whatever route you guys think's appropriate, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple
Yeah.
steps to this kind
Sure.
of assessment and, you know, it's not really the select board to say, oh yeah, let's
Yeah.
change the zoning based on this idea.
Yeah.
So it has to go through planner, administration, planning board, and then recommendations to the select board, and then we would vote to put it on, you know, the town's warrant for the town to decide if this is something we want to change or not. So-
Yeah. Understood.
So, yeah, I think,
Cool.
I think to take your ambition and keep on moving it forward.
Yeah.
And I think it, you know, I think the next step would be kind of reach out to the planner and.
Well, he's got our numbers.
He's got your number.
Yeah, I've been,
Yeah,
I've been bugging them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
thank you.
All right,
And we'll
thanks,
figure
guys.
out whether we need to move it up based on What's going on, with the planning department.
That's why I brought it to you now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, that is our struggle. I only have a part-time planner.
Yeah, that was just, I started with the planning department, I think their directive and their focus is to focus on the density downtown, because I think that a lot of people have been bugging them about creating housing, right? And so he just wasn't sure that this was gonna elevate to the point where this is more important than that, and so that's like, this is great, but they're gonna focus on housing, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
thanks, Alex.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks. Silence.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Drive safe.
Any other comments for this section? No? Okay, hearing nothing, we will move on to item 5A, which is the FY 27 budget presentation.
Ready?
Right.
Nice.
You did it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Michelle Shannon. If you don't know me, I'm the finance director for the town. So we put a lot of hard work this year into the budget. And we have had a good season. So we have an agenda. I'm not gonna read down through it. And let's move forward. Okay, so recapping. We had several budget workshops. They are all on YouTube, so you can watch. You can watch them if you want to get informed. I'm sorry. Do with this. So we had our initial presentation on January 27th. We had 3 budget workshops. And March 9th, the select board made some changes to the budget based on our conversations. We have a budget documents folder for the public and for the board to access everything that has been discussed. It's a great resource so that you can understand what's going on and how we got to where we've gotten. So I encourage people, there are links on our website, so you can check it out. So where we've landed. All right, so this is the select board municipal budget, which is different from our initial budget. They made some changes. And the biggest changes that they made were in the transfer to reserve, where they lowered the amount from 900,000 to 800,000. And as you can see, right now, the budget is only up 0.06% this year for municipal budget. Anybody want to jump in, let me know. And this is our transfer to reserves, so these are all our reserve accounts. And you can see under road capital projects, the board at their last meeting decided to reduce that by 100,000. And we did add the 6,000 to the fire truck reserve as was spoken during the special town meeting so that we could cover that loan.
Cash instead of having to borrow.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is our capital improvement for fiscal 27, which is what the select board is intending to do for projects. Sometimes subject to change depending on issues or if something arises, but this is what we're looking at for next fiscal year.
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you describe what does design mean when it says, I presume it doesn't mean working on the road, but what does that entail?
Couple of components. So this parking lot and redesign, we have a lot of storm drain issues that all culminate down on Liberty Street. Where there's a failing retaining wall. So we need to get designs done to rectify that issue. So this is mostly about storm water removal before we do any major design on that side. The other aspect of this is Army Corps, because that gully down there is affected by and has to be approved by Army Corps and DEP. So we need to also hire a consultant to help us through that process.
So in relation to Glidden Street, what were those two?
Glidden Street is also another stormwater issue, stormwater drainage issue. And additionally, we'd like to do some streetscape redesign there. So this fiscal year, we did work to have a survey done to figure out exactly where the town right of way is. And so what we'd like to do is, as we're looking to fix the stormwater, and you know that we had the Great Salt Bay Sanitary District got a grant to address the water line and sewer line replacement. So everything's kind of cut up anyway. This is the time to get the stormwater taken care of and then redo that street. So we want to do design work as part of this fiscal year, have some money in our technical assistance line that will carry forward, but this additional capital money will help us finish that design stuff. And then the next fiscal year, we'll look to do probably a bond, given the cost it's going to be to redo the length of Glidden Street.
So the next fiscal year, so you wouldn't anticipate actually improvements on that street until fiscal year 28?
Correct.
Questions, is the, just to be parochial as well, is Liberty Street to Pleasant Street, does that include any design work or then work on Pleasant Street itself?
Yeah, I believe what we're gonna do to look, there is a storm drain that no one knows where it goes to, just up Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
As part of this network is to figure out how do we address this sort of man-made swamp area.
Right.
And other, because everybody who's up there pumps their water from their basement out into here. And how do we get this water to continue to flow out? And the problem is there isn't a good system to do that. So part of this is the design of that, but also just the Army Corps requirements. So that's the first aspect of it. I think the next iteration will be the actual cost to do the project. So with the design, we'll be able to figure out the cost for the project and then either use a future year capital cash or another potential bond at that stage.
Just curious on the line that says River Road sidewalk and the parentheses too, does that mean sidewalk on both sides of the road or what is the?
Oh, no, that's step two. So the current fiscal year, there's money to do half of it. What we're looking to do is have the money to do the second half of it, which takes us all the way down to Lincoln Home.
From here.
From here to Lincoln Home. So the total cost to do that full thing is a little over 200,000. Ideally, I can get this down a little bit because they haven't started. So if all the equipment and the people are here already, I might be able to save a few bucks, but I'm not guaranteeing it at the moment, but. So these are the estimates we have with our contractor. And if you click the link, the 5-year capital plan link, you can actually go and see the notes about exactly what those little yellow triangles in the corner. You can see the notes we took about exactly what this is and what goes into that cost. You can see those breakdowns. So we try to make this budget process as interactive as possible. There's hundreds of links and I'll just put you in big loops, but just know you can go back to the folder and dig deep there.
Everybody good to move on? Okay, the other factors. I'm sorry, I'm flipping back and forth. So we have the county tax. We have a link to the commitment document. And our share for fiscal 27 is 524,753, which is a 4.89 increase over the previous year. Does anyone want to comment on that?
It'd be nice if everybody else kept their 0.06%.
If you bring the average down though,
Yes.
We're trying for it.
bottom line.
That's and basically all we can do as a municipality is our share of this. So the county tax is a bill we receive, we have to pay. So that's why there's no vote during the annual town meeting. It is just, we have to commit the taxes to pay for this bill.
Right, you won't see an article to be voted on.
You just see articles based on, that's why we wrote other factors, all the other things, we as a town, you as a town. We should be in this town, we as a town,
You're
I'll say it,
honorary.
I will say it. We as a town can make decisions on is the municipal budget. The other factors are your county tax as well as the school budget.
Well, we have a say in that too, if people
You
want
do.
to actually.
And I'll bring that up.
Good.
That's the next slide right here. So, we don't 100% have solid numbers yet. But we have a pretty good idea that the 5.41 is what we'll be looking at. They're gonna have another meeting Wednesday, the 25th, 9 AM to 1 PM at the Coastal Rivers Conservation Trust meeting room. The school board will be reviewing the budget. So anybody can go and weigh in, listen to what's going on and how they're getting to where they are. So. And we have, when you go to the school folder, there isn't anything in there right now, just so you know, we haven't received our documents yet to put in. But when we get them, they will be in there for everybody to see.
Remember, our school is now an RSU and there's a shared school with Damascotta and Bremen.
Yes.
And so they as a board make a decision about their budget and they have a formula that determines what the share for each of the towns. And I think 2 more years and then we can negotiate that formula.
Okay, overall. This is a summary of the budget. You can see the breakdown of what makes up the whole budget. If there's any questions,
So overall, what is the number?
overall, it's 2.95% increase.
Which is better than inflation.
Yep.
Okay, so what's next? Okay, potentially tonight, the select board may modify the budget further. They will set a public hearing for the budget as presented or further modified. And then April 13th will be the public hearing. And we'll be approving the annual town meeting warrant to include budget articles as a secret ballot questions. The board has gone more towards looking at having all of it on a ballot this year. So that would be where having all of this documentation and looking at it before you come to the polls would be a really important thing, so that you know how you're voting, and we are encouraging people to vote absentee if the board does move forward with the annual town meeting warrant on a ballot. And that is my presentation.
Thanks, Michelle.
Excellent.
Okay, so, for the board, is there any other comments from the room on this? Okay, is there, so with the board, if there's a motion to amend this, please speak up and make a motion. Is there any questions from the board on this? In this budget?
I think we went over it. Been over it.
And over it again.
So, there's a motion to,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing on the fiscal year 2027 budget for April 13th, 2026 as presented.
Second that.
Karen moved and Rufus seconded. Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, let's vote. All those in favor? Motion passes 5 members. Great.
It was less painful than last year, which was less painful than the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're all good.
All right, item 5B, David, do you wanna come up and read us?
All right, Attorney Drum talked about putting on different hats. So tonight I'm putting on my county commissioner hat, represent District 3, one of which the 8 towns is Newcastle. So I'm here tonight to present to you some excess aqua funds that we've had come in due to failures of other projects, but seeing that the Newcastle project is continuing on and that there's a need for additional funds and that you can spend it within the time required for the ALPA funds need to be things. So based on those considerations, Newcastle's project has come to the top and we would like to award you $36,000. And if the chair wants to come up or if the whole team wants to come up, I can.
I get a picture with you guys.
Sure. And then
That's what I've been told to do.
you're the photographer
I'm a
tonight.
photographer.
So no big roll
No, no,
checks, but it's
Check.
it's enough to digits. So there you
Nothing,
go.
one more digit. That's what we're gonna work on, David.
Yeah.
Then we get the big check, right?
That's what we're
All right,
hoping
thank you,
after
guys.
May 1. So keep up the good work on the project and we'd love to see it come to fruition. For sure.
Got your finance, man.
Yes, it's convenient that she's here. to
David, I
collect
like
the
the
money.
real check much better than
You
the
like
fake
the-
one.
Yeah, I mean, you know it's real that way. You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome.
Right? I'm gonna keep going for it.
Yeah. Keep it coming.
Kevin, are you keeping running tally of how much money you've managed to get for us?
Maybe when we were discussing my contract.
He's got
Okay.
a little notebook.
He's got it.
Yeah.
Got it written down somewhere on the back of his hand.
Yeah,
Um,
he's saving it, ammunition.
all right, great. So let's move on to item 6, unfinished business, the 27 budget. Is there anything that
You just did it
Yeah.
already,
Well,
so
this
you're
is
good.
kinda
Just jump right to
not
7.
necessary?
Yeah.
Item 7A, road closure. So we were gonna have somebody from this organization talk to us about, or give us detail on this, but seeing that she's not here, I've asked,
She did email me this afternoon and said she was unable to make it.
that's fair, that's fine. I think this is pretty straightforward. It's just, it's gonna be a running race. Kevin knows the details. Kevin, if you just wanna let us know.
Yeah, I mean, the explanation says it's gonna go one way and come back Academy Hill Road. The visuals shows a full map around. All really what I'm looking to do is see if the board supports the idea of closing the road, part of a road or the roads as part of this. The sheriff's office just wants to know before moving forward with working with them. If the board is okay with this event.
It's a 6.5 K, maybe.
Well, it's 5+, it's go the
Yeah.
extra mile.
It's
right, road
4.2
race.
miles.
Yeah.
Of that, which means the roads will probably be closed to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Some of the slower people, maybe.
Yeah, and I think the intent really is to go the end of Academy Hill Road and turn. I think the map they made was done before they met with the sheriff's department, who probably said closing both of these roads for this race
Yeah.
is gonna cause a lot of traffic concerns. So I think the write-up she sent is more accurate than the full circle.
I think she still said Mills Road.
The planned route, so the item commentary says the planned route, which will require some temporary road closures, would have a starting point at Hall Street, up Academy Hill Road onto Pond Road,
Yeah.
then turn to Austin Road, then back onto Academy Hill Road, back to the center.
Okay, so that's more.
So
accurate
just
than
keep
theirs.
Academy Hill Road and keep Mills Road open for the most part. For that, so.
Right, that would be a short closure
Yeah,
of Mills Road.
That's, it wouldn't even be Mills Road at that point then.
Well, to get to Austin Road from Academy Hill Road, you gotta close a little bit of Mills Road for a minute there.
So am I right? There's no exact date on this yet?
The date for this, the proposed date for this is August
22nd.
22nd.
Which,
22nd.
by the way, they need to clear out, because that's my daughter's wedding day here in the Mills and such, so, we gotta have people driving.
Shh.
No, they'll be done long before then.
Okay. Sorry, you have to move the date of your event.
But yeah, the date,
Do
nobody
we have a
has to
daughter's
it.
wedding?
I'm not seeing a time of day.
They said a 9 a.m. start time,
Oh,
8 a.m. registration in the letter that
yeah,
followed.
okay, got it, yep.
So, and then they were gonna do a barbecue in the park. They went to Veterans Park. but that'd
Yeah,
be cool.
which meets some of our efforts to try to utilize our civic spaces. So
Yeah.
I was excited about that conversation we had initially, so.
It's two races that we have in town now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's fun.
Well, and I hope for us to have greater involvement as part of Pumpkin Fest this year too, so.
Yeah.
That meeting is tomorrow. First one of the year.
Oh my gosh, already. Well, this will be fun. I think that makes more sense just to close Academy Hill and a little bit of Pond in Austin and then back again.
Mhm.
So the road less traveled than Mills Road.
That's the route that the high school kids use for cross country anyway.
Mm.
Yep.
Without closing it, so this is a lot
That's
safer than that.
And then they, in the spring, jump off the bridge into the lake
Mhm.
and it's freezing cold.
Mhm.
Okay, so then we need to make a motion. Is that what we,
Yeah, so does somebody want to move this? Authorize the. Sheriff, there's a lot of, Language here.
There is the,
to authorize the sheriff's office.
yeah, all right, I will move to authorize the sheriff's office to close the proposed race route temporarily for the 2026 Go to the Extra Mile for Recovery race. And authorize the town manager to develop an event agreement for the use of Veterans Park with the Lincoln County Recovery Community Center.
Great, thanks.
second,
Thanks. Rufus, Karen is a second, and any other discussion on this? Okay, all those in favor? Motion passes.
that'll be fun to see an event in the park.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what we're going for here,
Yep.
right?
Mhm. Just don't step on the flowers.
Okay, item 7B. Housing Opportunity Program Municipal Ordinance Development Grant. And yeah. Kevin, tell us what we got here.
Money, money, money.
Money.
This was a grant opportunity through MOCA, and that's the main Office of Community Affairs Housing Opportunity Program. They are. Thank you, thanks for being here. They had to make some funding available for municipalities to amend state law around housing. So I have examples of LD 2003, LD 1706. By the way, LD 2003, we're all in compliance of. We've already fixed that in a previous iteration where we did get additional grant money to take care of. But there's still LD 1706, 1829, 997, 427. All of these have minimal challenges for us, but nothing crazy because our zoning is very different than what you find in most of the states. So we're fortunate that way, but we still went after the full amount of 15,000 because we can address other housing related needs, including a lot of the outreach stuff we're trying to do more of with this funds. And we got it. But you guys have to accept
That's good. Oh man, well, I'm gonna make a motion to accept $15,000 from the Housing Opportunity Program Municipal Ordinance Development Grant and authorize the town manager to sign the award confirmation letter.
Second.
Okay. Karen moves, Ben seconded that. Any other discussion?
Well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
Yep.
Yeah, nice work. All those in favor? Motion passes.
Oh, I have one as last comment. I want to say, we're able to chase a lot of this. And successfully administer it because of Michelle. Without her, I'd struggle. I'd get all these grants. But then I'd have to give them back because I haven't done a good job tracking the spending, the reporting. So this is only doable because we have a good person in that role.
Excellent.
Thanks, Michelle. Okay, item 8A, AP warrant. FY 26 17th AP warrant to be exact. To approve fiscal warrant 2026 17th AP warrant for $632,655.60.
There goes all the grant money I just got you.
And then some. I'll move that.
You know, second.
Great.
Big piece of that was CPM constructors for the Mill Bridge replacement. That was about 250 of that. Another big chunk of that is the schools.
And FYI, I wanted to go peek at it on Saturday when I went to the Sugar Shack down there on Lynch Road.
Yeah,
They were working their butts off down there, but I didn't go near it because the trucks were moving. There were people all over the place on a Saturday.
They knew the snow was coming in. I'm sure they were doing everything they could while it was dry.
Like
A lot of
that.
us work this
Yeah,
weekend. Yeah,
but that was a surprise to see.
good for them.
Mhm.
well, they have a deadline too.
I guess
All right.
it'll be on there. I was just curious, the only thing I was curious about, what was the Bay Light replacement that cost us $3,100?
It's replacing the white fixtures in the fire station.
Here, okay,
That's the
The bays, yeah.
Yeah,
so we don't,
there's 30 some odd fixtures, so it's,
so that wasn't it wasn't a fixture for 3,000, good.
no.
So we're not, or are we in some other place tracking when we do things that are on this building versus the town office?
So it's all tracked in our
Okay.
building maintenance reserve.
Okay, yeah, because here it just says building maintenance, so I was just curious
Yeah,
as to whether
we are tracking
separately.
it separately in our reserve, or in our reserve spreadsheet.
Okay, great.
I believe Karen, you moved that and Ben was the second.
Yes.
on that?
Yes,
Okay, anything else? All those in favor? Motion passes 5 members and town manager report, Kevin, you wanna?
Oh, boy.
yeah, that's good stuff in there.
It's a long one. I did add, so CLC ambulance service, thank you everybody who helped vote that and make that improvement. That will help with retention and recruitment, which is what I was really supportive of making happen. That they had their last board meeting on the 16th. And Angela Costnabator is our representative there. She did share some updates from them. May 18th at 5 o'clock. Well, they're gonna start discussing the formula that's used for the budget. As part of the next cycle. So it's important that, and I have another link here from Nicholas, who was here earlier. Expressing interest from board members to attend that meeting. The Lincoln Home will soon receive a letter about CLC charging for lift assists. It's not gonna be sent to the town, but to the facility. Just wanted you guys to be aware that it's going to all of the assisted living facilities.
And the reason is that they've all decided for insurance purposes, their insurance rates are better if they don't ask their employees to lift people who just slipped out of a chair and didn't get hurt and are laying on the ground and can't get up. So they use the CLC ambulance as their staff to come in and pick the person up and put them back in the chair and then leave. They can't get paid for
Health
that.
insurance is so absurd.
Yeah, and they
I'm
can't get,
sorry.
yes, and they can't get. CLC ambulance doesn't get reimbursed for that, and they're just doing free work for the homes, so they've discussed maybe having a fee for that from now on, just to try to recoup some of their time. And they're not available to respond somewhere else if they're lifting someone off the floor. So that's what prompted that.
So everyone knows Karen was at the meeting too.
Oh, yes, I was.
And then the last piece is the new DEA rules. Ambulance service have to provide their own narcotics instead of getting them through the local hospital. So they have a spending allowance of about $50,000 to purchase new equipment, including lockers and medical dispensary machines. So
This was not welcome.
no. Can't acquire it from. Okay. So there's just some updates for the board from our liaison. Our next events for the Downtown Village public outreach are March 26th. That's in person at the Second Congregational Church on Main Street. We have a register or just show up. We really just hope more people will attend this. Our focus is on growth. This
Please
one.
come one and all.
And then there's a virtual one on the 27th at noon. And there's a registration for that one. Just so you
You
can
gotta
get
get
it.
a link.
Yep, the link's there on the manager report. So I hope you sign up and join us for one of those events. The joint select boards workshop, I'll say the Public Works Working Group has met for nearly a year. And we'd like to present our findings to the two select boards in a workshop format to allow the select board members to ask questions and provide some additional guidance for the staff. This is scheduled for Wednesday at 6 p.m. and it's going to be at the Great Salt Bay Schools cafeteria. Open to the public. I'm sure there'll be opportunity for some questions, but it's really getting, ultimately the direction you want us to go with this and see if this is something we want added to our warrant this year about an interlocal agreement. Town office is closed tomorrow. Our staff, our 3 staff at the front, have to take this training. It's an 8-hour training. The state has completely overhauled their central voter registration system. This is for security, more secure system, and hopefully a better user interface for staff. So this is an 8-hour training. So our clerk and our deputy clerks all have to partake in this. So we are going to close the office. While the office is closed, I have electricians coming in to add additional outlets. So the battery backup lending program can be serviced out of the town office, as well as some additional outlets in here so they can be charged in here as well. We've still got our posted roads. That'll probably be through May 1st, at least through the next 2 months. Hopkins Hill Road, that was a fiscal year capital project for 2026. We just voted to be able to bond for that one. That is getting started this week.
They looked like they broke ground today.
They were planning to, so I'm glad they did. I didn't know with the weather if they'd have the staffing capacity to do it, but weather will always be one of those things that can make or break a schedule. There's a link for the construction schedule. We'll continue to update that as that potentially changes. Lynch Road detour is still in place. They're continuing to work as quickly as they can. They do have a drop dead to get the abutments in before they have to open it up for a fish passage. So there's a time constraint there, and they are working on weekends to get it done. And then, like I've mentioned, there's a bit of a mess in the building right now, so I apologize to folks. You can see there's a whole lot of batteries back here, about 18 of them. We're getting ready to launch our battery lending program. I have a link in here if people are interested in learning more or potentially signing up. We got a little ambitious during the last year's when we sent out the tax bills, because we included an insert with some QR codes that say, hey, if you're interested in this program. Well, we've got about 16 people to sign up for that at that time, but I think we're about ready to launch it. It's going to have a couple of elements to it, and I'll disclose more of this at the April 13th meeting. But essentially, if you want to be able to borrow a battery, there's an impending storm coming. You know that you lose power occasionally during those events. If you'd like to borrow one of the batteries, let us know. You come pick it up, take it home, return it within 48 hours after a storm event or multiple storm events. I won't, if there's another storm coming, I'll just tell you to hold on to it, charge it at home and bring it in after. But there's simply a short training video or with staff, and then there's a waiver form that's associated with it. Trying to make this as low a barrier to borrow these things as possible. We even modified our grant. This is all from a grant, another community action grant. We were able to even buy rollers because they say they're portable, but if you're not working out as much as you used to, they are a little heavy. So we do have roller. They're in bags. They're rollable. If you're in the town office, you can see 9 of them are set up on a rack. There's a couple of racks that still need to be set up. If anybody has some free time tomorrow and wants to come help, just trying to get that launched. And my goal is for the April 13th. I'm sorry it wasn't done for this winter because I know we've had some tough storms, but we're a small staff and realizing we are ambitious about getting these things going, but also have limitations. Nomination papers are still available. Oh, did you have a question?
Just a comment, I don't think we had a lot of power outages from what I remember this winter.
Yeah.
Despite that.
Sheep's
Not my
good.
house.
that direction, I know I got a lot of notifications about the light being out. I don't know how, and it's about 800 customers that are impacted by that. So I do know that that direction does, and I think what we call sort of Edgecombe, South Newcastle.
That's a light, yeah, you lost power.
That neighborhood tends to lose power as part of that circuit. So yes, there are parts of Newcastle that don't have power outage problems, but there are still areas that do, and I think it's mostly Station Road and Island Road, that Cochrane Road, that area has more challenges with storm outages than most of Newcastle.
At least 5 is.
Yeah. So nomination papers are available. 2 seats for select board, 1 for the school board, 1 for Great Salt Bay Sanitary District. They're in the office and filing deadline is April 13th. And then there was an ICS training that's available if anybody's interested. It's for ICS NIMS 402. It's overview for senior officials, understand more about what emergency management is, and it's a good class, an overview class. So that's why I'm helping try to promote it. And then like I said last time, I'll be out of the office next week for a family vacation.
Okay, enjoy that.
Thanks. It'll be warm.
You in New York?
Florida.
All right, thanks, Kevin. And that's all we got on our agenda.
Great.
Without objection,
Wow, we did 3
Meeting
meetings in an
adjourned.
hour?
at 8:10 PM.
Yeah, if I didn't blabber out for so long, you would have been out of here in an hour.
I told Martin, it's easy to be 2 hours.
I know.